I'm sorry. I swore to myself that I wouldn't jump on this trend, but now I have, and I sincerely apologize for that. I realize that these kind of videos are really overdone, and half the time the opinions aren't actually unpopular. A lot of the time they're just used to spread hate. But the other day I had a request to make a video of G-idol or idol unpopular opinions, and whilst I would love to do that, I don't actually have that many unpopular opinions on them, so I decided to make an overall unpopular K-pop opinion video and include some idol opinions as well, so I hope that's alright. You've all heard this disclaimer way too many times before, but just in case, these are all just my opinions, they're not facts, and you're completely allowed to disagree with me. Everyone is entitled to their own views and opinions as long as they're not just blatantly hating on anyone or being malicious. I don't mean any hate towards anyone with this video, and at the end of the day, I'm just a random girl sitting in her bedroom recording videos and editing on KineMaster of all things, so my opinions are honestly irrelevant. Also, I know for a fact that some of these are actually unpopular, but I'm not sure about all of them, so I'm sorry if they're not really unpopular, but I tried my best not to add any that are overly repetitive. This video is not me trying to be edgy or anything and pretend that I'm not the most basic, boring K-pop stan you'll ever come across, because that is exactly what I am, and this is all just for fun and for entertainment purposes. Anyway, with that being said, let's get on with it. Gashina or Gashina didn't age well. Right, first of all, I really like Sunmi or Soonmi. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name, I'm really sorry. She's actually one of my favourite K-pop solo artists, and her whole vibe is really unique and I just love her music. And I still like Gashina. I can't deny that it is a pretty iconic song and it does slap, but for some reason it kind of got boring for me after a while, and I do find myself skipping it a lot. I honestly don't know why, but I do know that I would listen to La La Lay instead any day. I don't know, maybe I'm just tasteless, but it didn't age well for me personally. I actually prefer Senorita over La Tata. Don't get me wrong, La Tata was a great debut song and I absolutely love it to this day. I think Soyeon did an amazing job composing it. I just feel like Senorita is a bit more unique because one of the first things I noticed about La Tata was that the instrumental sounded a bit like BB Rexha's I Got You, whereas I don't really think that there's any song that sounds like Senorita. I absolutely love the verses of Senorita. I think the deep, breathy vocals and the toned down instrumental melt together so perfectly. The chorus is very melodic and it's just a really solid track. I do think that the bridge and the outro could have been a bit more creative. But aside from that, like, I really like Senorita, and even more so than La Tata, even though I love La Tata, Senorita wins for me. Yuri from IZ*ONE has such an underappreciated vocal tone. I have no idea if this is unpopular or not, probably not, but I've never heard anyone talk about it, and I just love Yuri's vocal tone. It's so exquisite. I'm not fully able to distinguish the voices of all of the members of IZ*ONE from each other, but Yuri has always stood out to me when it comes to vocals. I love her voice's like slightly raspy and youthful but deep as well sound, if that makes sense. It just sounds so nice to me, and it doesn't sound strained when she hits high notes. Again, no idea if this is unpopular or not, but I haven't heard people talk about it, so that's why I'm including it here. The real voice, fake voice epidemic needs to stop. Not every idol with a unique voice is faking it. I get that in some cases idols do seem to be pushed by their company to have a unique voice that is different to their natural tone and register, and when you look at like pre-debut audio of them, sorry, not look at, like listen to, their voices do sound different, and I do get that. Like Rose from Blackpink would be a very good example of this. But I've heard these fake voice accusations being applied to like so many different idols who I just don't think it makes sense. For example, Sana from Twice, like I don't understand that at all, because I watched 16 and even in the pre-debut performances, Sana has always had that naturally high-pitched and almost twangy type of voice since 16, and she seems quite comfortable to be singing with it. So I honestly have no clue where this "her voice is actually deep" stuff came from. Of course, some idols do seem like they are being pushed to use a different voice to their natural tone, but I don't really get why people are labeling this idea to literally any idol with a unique voice.
Go up to the sky.
Bias rankings are immoral. Right, this one may ruffle a few feathers. It's not a diss to anyone who has made a bias ranking video before. I'm actually subscribed to a few channels who have made those kind of videos and I really like them. I just feel like it's fine to have a bias and a bias wrecker, but it just seems a bit weird to me to be ranking the members of a group from your least favourite to your favourite. Like, it just seems a bit dehumanizing to me. Like, these are real people with real feelings, they're not just video game characters. And like, I know you might unintentionally have a bias ranking in your head, but I just think it's a better idea to keep it to yourself, because even though at the start of these videos they always make disclaimers and they say, hey, this is just about the idols I vibe with the most and the least, and I actually like all of these idols. But the thing is, like, putting myself in that kind of situation, like if I found a video ranking me and my friends and I was at the bottom, like no matter whether they said, oh, I like all of these people, I would still be a bit upset by it. I don't know, it just seems a bit weird to me, but I'm not trying to bash anyone who does make those videos. You know, you're free to upload what you want on the internet, but that's just my opinion. There is no quote-unquote best entertainment company. I swear there is so much debate on who the best entertainment company is, but I feel like they're all bad. Like, there are so many people who literally worship JYP, and I mean, do what you want. Like, I get that he's better than a lot of other companies, but I hope you know that the guy that you're treating like a god also body shames a healthy teenager. But I mean, you do you. Some people also say that Cube is the best company, to which I say, how? They literally kicked 2 idols out of their company for dating. Like, that's not a crime. And they're constantly ignoring any of their groups that aren't Idol. And whilst I love Idol, it is so frustrating to see groups like CLC constantly being screwed over and being given cheap comebacks with very little promotion. You can try naming as many companies as you want, but at the end of the day, are you 100% sure that that company hasn't done anything problematic? Like, I'm pretty sure all companies have at some point put extreme pressure on their idols and trainees and forced healthy idols and trainees to diet and overwork them. Like, can you be sure that all of the companies that you're naming haven't done that? Because I'd say the majority of them have. Stop making weight videos on idols. I keep getting these videos in my recommended which are like so-and-so's weight loss / weight gain, and although they're probably not out of ill intention, I just don't get why people care so much. Like, these videos end up with millions of views, millions of eyes monitoring an idol's weight. And a lot of these are meant to be positive videos, like they have titles like "This person's beautiful weight gain." But at the same time, that implies that there was an issue with their weight before. A lot of K-pop stans like to play doctor and say that they're worried about an idol's health because they look too skinny. But you can't just judge someone's health based on how their bodies look, and you can absolutely not diagnose them with an eating disorder, because that's disrespectful not only to the idols but also those who suffer from the eating disorder. You know, some people are just naturally skinny, like there's not much else to it, unless the idol officially gives out a statement that they're not in good health. Then you can't just go assuming things. ITZY's concept is not that unique. First of all, I stan ITZY. I think they're a really solid group and they deserve all the praise that they get, and I definitely think that a lot of their songs have quite a unique sound to them, but I don't think that their concept is really anything new. There are so many groups who have done the whole love yourself concept before, and Teen Crush was also a thing before ITZY joined the scene, so I feel like their concept is not really that unique, which, you know, it's not a bad thing. Like, not every concept has to be completely new. I just think that it's not as fresh as people make it out to be. Labeling a K-pop song as westernized does not make sense. Think about it this way. A Korean group sings a Korean song in Korean and people say it's westernized. Like, I know when people say a song is westernized, they are referring to the sound of the song, but like, what is a westernized sound to you? Please explain, because I'm confused. Like, there are a ton of music styles which are present in both K-pop and in Western music. For example, EDM, but like, you don't go labeling every EDM K-pop song as westernized. I just find it confusing, and yeah, I just don't get it. Jisoo gets lines. I get that Jisoo is very often the Blackpink member to get the least lines in their songs, and I do wish sometimes she would be given more. However, most of the time she does get a good 20 seconds of lines, but people say that she gets 0. I don't understand. Like, no hate to Jisoo at all, I absolutely love her voice, but I don't understand when people say she gets no lines, because she clearly does. A lot of people say she should get more lines because she's the most stable member in the group, and whilst I agree that she is the most stable on stage, from a production point of view, the lines are probably distributed to the members who are best suited to the lines, not just the most stable vocalists. And I don't know, like, I just don't get it when people are like, oh yeah, Jisoo gets no lines, because she does. She does get lines. I don't mind when music videos have heavy CGI. Fancy by Twice is, first of all, one of my favourite K-pop songs of all time, and also one of my favourite K-pop music videos of all time. A lot of people didn't like the music video for Fancy because of the large amount of CGI being used in it, and I mean, I completely understand that to some people a lot of CGI can look weird and tacky, but for me personally, I actually really don't mind it, and as long as I like the whole aesthetic and the colours used, using CGI doesn't really bother me that much, though I can definitely appreciate when music videos have real sets, like watching the behind the scenes clips of Twice's More and More. Like, the sets are absolutely stunning, and the whole time I actually thought that the horse in the music video was animated, but it was actually real, which I think is really cool. But yeah, overall, I don't dislike heavy CGI. I don't have a problem with it, but I know a lot of people do, and I do get why. Anyway guys, that's all that I'm going to be saying for this video. As I said, these were all just my opinions. I don't mean any hate with these, and you're completely allowed to disagree. I may make a part 2 because I feel like I didn't give that many opinions in this video. But anyway, feel free to drop your own unpopular opinions in the comment section below and share your thoughts on mine if you want to. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.